Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel TechDataEngineer. In this video, I'll give you a very realistic, detailed 30-day roadmap to become a GenAI developer. Okay, so this video is basically designed for someone who have experience with the data, or they are from the software background. Okay, they are not the entirely fresher. Okay, they don't know even the Python concepts, what is Docker, what is Kubernetes, what is API, and all these things. So this video is for someone who have the knowledge about all these basic things. Okay, they understand what is AI, ML, and all these things. So I have designed this like 30 days plan. Who wanted to become a GenAI developer? Okay, so they wanted to they wanted to build some production ready. I can say applications, LLM applications. So this video is for them. Okay. So in 30 days, you won't be become master, but yeah, you can become job ready GenAI developer. You can learn like how to build LLM apps, how to use RAG properly, deploy GenAI services, and then you can explain the concepts related to GenAI in very confident way. Okay. So, after watching, after if you go thoroughly through all this week 1 to week 4, all the concepts. So, what will happen after 30 days? What would be the outcome? Okay. So, the outcome would be you will be able to build LLM based application. You can implement RAG, retrieval augmented generation. Then you can use vector database very you can say you can use vector database also. Then you can fine tunes and you can or adapt the model. Okay, then you can deploy GenAI applications. You are able to you can say deploy GenAI applications, API plus UI, both the things. Okay, and you can design some production grade GenAI systems also. So if you go through week 1 to week 4, detailed topic by topic, and if you learn each and everything, then after 30 days you have these outcomes. Okay. So let us start with the week first. So week first, like day 1 to 7, we have the GNAI and LLM foundations. So we will go through the GNAI and LLM foundations. So what is the GNAI fundamentals we can give? So fundamentals like what we have to learn here. So what is generative AI? And then we can go through basic like earlier also, like what is AI, what is ML, what is DL, what is GenAI, what is NLP. So we can understand AI versus ML, DL, GenAI. You can understand these things. Okay, then we can understand why LLM are powerful. And then you can see chat use case, like we have chatbots, code generation, search and summarization. These all these things we can learn in details. Okay, then we can see the some core concept, that is, so if you learn NLP in details, you will understand what is token, what is context window, what is prompt versus completions, what is embedding, what is in inference versus training and all. So this all these things you will understand. You will understand GenAI concepts. What do you mean by generative? What do you mean by, so why, what is difference between AI, ML? Why generative AI comes into picture? So you'll understand all these basic things, and you can understand core concept like tokens, context window, prompt, embedding, inference, and all these things. Okay. So these are the basic things. You have the general idea, like what are the GNA fundamentals. Okay. So okay. So these are the things you will learn. So if you learn all these things, then what would be the output for that? Okay. So if you understand like token, context window, prompt versus completions, embedding, inference, and training, so you should be able to explain like how GPT works internally. Okay, you have the idea like how GPT works. Okay, so after completing, you from day 3 to 4, you have to work on the LLM architecture. So what is LLM architecture? Like you will understand what is transformation architecture, what is self attention, query key value, you understand the formula. So I have already explained these things in my older video also. What is a transformation architecture, what is self attention, encoder versus decoder, in which technique we are using, where you are using encoder, we are using the decoder, which particular you can say LLM like GPT, or we have Cloud, we have Copilot, which are based on encoder, which are based on the decoder. I have already explained this in details. Then you'll understand one very important topic, why transformation replaced an RNN. Okay, so earlier we are everything we are working on the neural network. Okay, so why transformations comes into picture and all. This is very important, basic behind this LLM architecture. Then you'll understand the model to understand like GPT, Llama, Cloud, Gemini. So you will understand all these things. So if you'll go through all this thing, LLM architecture, you have the like explain you can explain like why attention is better than RNN and all these things. Okay, you'll understand all these things why transformations comes into picture if we have already a neural network. So you can go through. After completing day 3 to 4, you can jump to day 5 to 7. So 5 to 7 we will focus mostly on prompt engineering. So prompt engineering very critical if you are dealing with the LLM. Okay, so in prompt engineering we will understand what is prompt, basic prompt like zero shot, one shots, few shots. I have already explained prompt engineering also in my video, so you can understand. I have explained in very easy way. I have given the simple examples and I have explained what is zero shot, one shot, few shot. Then you can understand the advanced concept like chain of thought, COT, React, self-consistency, role prompting. Okay, so these all are the advanced prompting concepts also you can understand. Okay, which I have already explained. Then you can do some hands-on like you can write prompt for SQL generation, log analysis, or Kafka error explanation, or anything you wanted. You can based on all this prompting engineering, we can give the prompt based rule based or zero shot, few shot, one shot, and you can get the answers. You can play around that. Okay, these are the day 5 to 7. So these are the basic things. You have to do prompting, you can understand the LLM architecture, you can understand the basic GNAI fundamentals. Okay. Now from week 2, like from day 8 to 14, you have to understand you have to focus mainly on the development part, okay? RAG and LLM development. So day 8 to 9, what we have to do, we'll learn on the LLM API and SDK. You have to focus mainly on the OpenAI API, Gemini API, okay? On Hugging Face, this interface API also. These are the API which basically we are using for building the LLM, okay? So LLM applications and SDK. Okay. So key concept you can understand like temperature, what is temperature, top key, top P, system bus, or user message, and all these things you'll understand. Okay. So if you and then you can what you can do, we'll do some hands-on on build a chat API using Python. Okay. Or we can use fast API also. So what would be the output after studying day 8 to 9? We'll understand you will build your own GPT like API. Okay. So you will build on chat GPT like API after going through the 8 to 9. Then we have day 10 to 11. We have to mainly focus on the embedding and vector database. So embedding, I have already explained why this is embedding and vector database is very required in case of LLM. Okay, so why LLM can't search raw text? Then what is semantic search versus keyword search? These all things we will understand when will go through this embedding and vector database. Then we can go through the vector database like we have Chroma, we have Pinecon, we have Vevite. Okay, so this all this vector database will go through that. Then we can do some hands-on like convert text to embedding, store in vector database, how we are storing the vector into vector database. Then we can do perform some similarity search or semantic search. Okay. So after going through all these things, after completing all these things, you will understand why vector DB is mandatory for GenAI. Okay, so we'll understand why we are not storing the raw data, why we are not performing anything on the raw data, why vector DB is important. Okay. Then day 12 to 40 we have to focus on the RAG. Okay, RAG I have already explained in my video, basic related RAG, why RAG important, how, what is the RAG architecture and all these things, and like end-to-end pipeline also I have explained. So RAG concept will understand what is chunking strategy, what is metadata filtering, what is hybrid search, like when we are using two search mechanism, that is called hybrid search. What is retrieval plus generations? Okay, so I have everything I have explained in my RAG video. Okay, then we will build some RAG like PDF to chunks, embedding vector DB, query retrieve for LLM answers. We will build some RAG based on that. Okay. So then we can use some tools like long chain and llama index also. So if you use all these things, you will be like production grade RAG system you are able to generate. Okay. So what would be output after studying all these things? So there would be a production grade RAG system you are able to generate. Okay. Then, if we'll go through week three, so now coming to week three, we have to understand the advanced GenAI concept that is related to fine tuning or model adaptation. So, what we learn here, we learn why fine tuning is expensive, what is LoRa and QLoRa, then instruction tuning, when not to fine tune, when to fine tune your model. Okay, so we will understand all these things. So after so what would be output? So output would be like, so clear decision between RAG and fine tuning, when to use RAG, when to do fine tuning, when to use RAG. Okay, so these are the concept you'll understand. Then day 17 to 18, we can understand GNA system design. Okay, so what are the topics we need to understand? How many? So if you are designing in a GNA system, so you should understand what is the token cost optimization, how much token you require, what is the catching response, what is the conversion memory, what is hallucination handling, how you can so handle the hallucination in your system, safety, what is the guardrails in your system. Okay, so you will understand each and everything. Okay, so you can also, after understanding each and everything based on the use case, you can design the enterprise GenAI architecture. Okay, so which is important nowadays, to design the GenAI enterprise level GenAI architecture. Okay, then from day 19 to 20, we'll understand agents and tool calling. Okay, so we'll understand the LLM agents, tool calling, function calling, auto GPT or lang graph. So we can understand all these things. So we'll do some hands-on on agent that read DB, that call API, that generates the report. We will do some hands-on. Then you can automate, you can do some autonomous GenAI agents also. You can create some autonomous GenAI agent. Then we will understand the multi-dimensional model. Multi-dimensional model is like multiple things like text plus image, OCR plus LAM, LLM, audio, text, LLM. We can do the combination of all these things in multi-model Gen AI. Okay, and then we can understand the multi-model AI understanding. So how it works basically, and what are the architecture behind that. Now coming to last week, we will understand the deployment and real project. So day 20 to 24 we'll do production and deployment. So we'll use fast API. So yeah, you have to be so the basic thing, you need to understand the Python fast API. So we'll learn fast API plus Docker. What is Docker? Why we are using Docker? Why Docker comes into picture? So Docker also I have already explained the Docker and Kubernetes in my videos. You can understand why Docker comes into picture and what is the use of Docker. Okay, then we can deploy on GCP or KWS. You can we'll understand what is how to deploy on GCP and Kubernetes. Okay, Kubernetes. Then we'll understand what is secrets, what is API key, rate limiting, and all these things. So this is comes when we are deploying the our whatever the GNA system we have developed, when we are deploying. Okay, we'll understand the production and deployment. So if then we in day 25 to 27, we will do some real world project. So I have listed here three projects at least. You can make any project based on your requirement or based on uh, your compatibility. Where you are compatible, you can build that. So RAG chatbot, it's like company doc, PDF, Confluence, or some secure answers. You can create some chatbot, or data engineering like Copilot. You can then create a Copilot which convert the SQL, and that do some explanation or that debug the air file DAX and all these things. Then Third, you can create like chat interview bot or based on your resume or job description. It will generate the question answer and that can take the mock interview. So you can generate the chatbot. Okay, so you can create any project, but I have listed down these three projects. Then day 28 to 29, the interview tips. Like you need to understand each and everything theoretically. What is RAG, how to answer. You sometimes what happen, you understand the things, but you are not able to answer. So you have to prepare your answers, like how to give the answer, precise answers. Okay, what is RAG, what is vector DB, token versus embedding, why hallucination happen, and all these things. So this all these things you need to understand theoretically. Okay, then last day you need to build your portfolio or resume, and you can create your GitHub repo. You can put their deployment URL. You can write your architectural diagram, readme explanation why this design, what is cost optimization limitation. This all things you can push in your GitHub repo. Okay, and then you can make a portfolio and you can paste it there. Okay. So, yeah, these are the 30 days roadmap. So, if you'll follow this roadmap, definitely, I'm not saying you will become master, genie master, but yeah, at least you have the idea and you can at least ready for the production level or enterprise level genie application. Like, you are able to make that. Okay. So take a stack to master. So before attending the interview, you have to focus mainly on these things like Python. That is very important. So Python is important. So you have to understand Python, fast API, because API is required when you're deploying your system, long chain bus, Llama index. Why vector DB? Vector DB, you need to understand any one of the two vector DB design, either Pinecon or anything which one you want. Okay, then you OpenAI or Gemini or API. These two API you need to understand. Docker, Kubernetes, or any one of the cloud, either GCP, Azure, or AWS, where you are deploying your system. So at least these are the topic you have to do master before attending any interview. Okay. So if we'll follow this approach, definitely we'll become the GenAI developer. You are able to crack the interviews and you can able to like build the GenAI system also. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for watching.